So in your writing, Georgios, you use a French word, dépense. Could you describe what it means and why it's important?
Yeah, that's okay. That's as wild as our ideas go. It's ideas that we've developed here in group with Giacomo D'Alisa, my colleague here, my co-author, another Italian scholar, sociologist Onofrio Romano, that recuperated this idea from a strange French philosopher, Georges Bataille, who has written very crazy sexo-sadomasochistic novels and philosophies, etc. So a very strange and controversial character, Georges Bataille, but a very original and unique thinker. Some people are appalled by what he wrote. Others, like Onofre Romano, from whom I took this idea, say that there are things from Bataille that they are so brilliant they can be useful even if there are many other ideas that one wouldn't share. So one core idea of Bataille is that societies make meaning and find joy, if you want, by expanding their excess. So rather than thinking in terms of societies being in a constant battle against scarcity, have to think like, okay, what is it that gives us pleasure? And at the end of the day, the pleasure and where we make meaning as societies is in expanding whatever surplus we might have, surplus of energy, surplus of human labor. And if you think that, I don't know, ancient Egypt was expanding the surplus to make pyramids and create a meaning as trying to reach the god with the pyramids, um, in a modern capitalist society or in the American dream, you might say, you're expanding it in the shopping malls and in the
Las Vegas
cornucopia
and
of,
Ryanair.
yes,
Yeah.
right, yes, the cornucopia of plastic things around, etc. No, and then the gas bustles, the cars. Uh, but we are expanding, and it's important to understand that, let's say, diagnostically, analytically, that's where societies make meaning and where they find joy. It's in their expenditure. So we are trying with this idea to say to to break a little bit the mold that a society of the growth is only a society of restriction, of confinement, of doing less and less, and think like, where would we expand our extra energies? What sort of joy would we create by expanding the surplus? Less as it might be, there will still be a surplus, above our immediate basic needs. Where would we expand it and how? And we take there the ideas of expanding it, that the importance is to expand it collectively, in collective feasts, in collective knowledge, humanities, curiosity. But it's important to keep in mind these demands, this unproductive and non-utilitarian expenditure, that you are not expanding in order to produce more in the future or do something else, but you are simply expanding, and that's the moment actually that you're at your happiest, if we might put it this way.
I love that idea for two reasons. First of all, is we have, you're a biophysical economist, so we have resource and energy inputs and resource and energy outputs that give us brain experiences. And right now, a lot of that energy input, we always look at it as what does it produce? So this is, you and I and people in our network are in some ways peddlers of fear because we're talking about limits and that society is going to have to change because for climate and energy reasons and many other reasons, including equity and some of the things you're working on, what we're doing now cannot continue. And that is a fearful thing, but we actually need to lead with a carrot or something creative and hopeful. And dépense, to me, my quick take on it is it's where can we imagine that we could expend our surplus in the future, even if it's a smaller surplus? And I often say that after basic needs are met, which for many humans they're not, but after they're met, most of the best things in life are free or close to free from a biophysical perspective. So is
Hmm.
that kind of what you're getting at there?
Yes, yes. And it's important, these things, that they are free, to remain free and expend them free, because this is where pleasure is coming. So the siesta you were saying, it's 2 hours that you're being very unproductive, no? You could stay and work and check emails, etc., etc., but you're being unproductive, sleeping for 2 hours, doing nothing. You're basically nothing, but it's also like a huge bonus to your quality of life and your well-being. And it's precisely things like that that we need to recover the capacity to expand things that they are for free and expand them for free. Because within capitalism is the opposite. It's like everything is squeezed in order to use it, in order to produce more. So it's like, how can we squash the siesta? So these 2 hours that they are lost, no? Come back in the machine in the form of human energy, and human energy is also fossil energy, because these 2 hours I'm probably in my office with the lights, etc., in order to produce more, no? So we're saying, no, just let it be, release it. We are happier, and we are also using less of our human energy and of our fossil energy.